Darren James Leonard James Promotions. Do cruise ships cause pollution? The activities of such ships are regulated and scrutinized by international protocols and standards, including measures to protect marine resources in terms of waste segregation and disposal. However, there are lapses and overlaps because implementation of such protocols and standards vary from one area of jurisdiction to another. Cruise ships in particular represent a minute portion of the entire shipping industry. However, the nature of the cruise ships carrying people around, entertaining them while they are aboard the ship, make them a large-scale threat to nature. These ships carry a large number of passengers and crew such that an equally large volume of wastes including human refuse are produced. Aside from the hazardous and toxic wastes, cruise ships also emit air pollutants. Such wastes, if not treated and disposed properly, have the potential to totally eradicate aquatic life. Furthermore, as these ships concentrate on a certain route and visit the same ports repeatedly, the cumulative effects result to a large significance. How are human wastes treated? Both commercial and recreational vessels are required by laws to be installed with toilets with marine sanitation devices which are primarily designed to prevent the discharge of untreated sewage. Treatment systems generally provide for the treatment, disinfection and sludge formation and are effective in removing pathogens that cause waterborne diseases, suspended solids, oils, greases and particulate metals that deprive living marine life of oxygen. After treatment, such wastes can be emptied into the ocean depending on the designated distance from the shore and varies from one state to another because some states totally prohibit the release of any form of treated wastes into their area of jurisdiction. How and where do cruise ships dispose hazardous wastes? Because of certain protocols, cruise ships cannot just empty their tanks or waste treatment facilities outlets and release toxic wastes wherever and whenever they want, as specific distances offshore for the discharge of specific wastes apply. Certain laws also prohibit the discharge of hazardous wastes, bilge water, solid wastes, oil and grease into the waters. Furthermore, proper storage of such wastes also applies until they are offloaded for disposal in accordance with existing laws. Furthermore, laws mandate that oil separator must be available in accordance to every state's protocol. Cruise ships are generally equipped with amenities similar to those found in luxury hotels but differ in the manner of disposing wastes and garbage. Since these ships move from one port to another, it is important that all of the equipments are running smoothly, as the efficiency of every tool is integral to sustainable bodies of water necessary for living. Whether you own a cruise ship of just a fishing boat, a passenger or a crew, it is your responsibility to take care of every waste and dispose it where it is intended to be. Think about taking a cruise if you and your partner are searching your next romantic adventure. Many couples need a break from their daily routines filled with large workloads, hectic schedules, and children. This break often comes in the form of a romantic getaway on a variety of cruise ships. Many people don't even consider a cruise ship as an option when it comes to romantic getaways. However, there are others who literally live for cruises and are likely to take 2 or more cruises each year. Whether you've been on a cruise ship before or not, it is possible for you and your partner to have a romantic cruise ship getaway. You are encouraged to consider a number of factors before booking a cruise vacation getaway. These factors are important when planning a romantic getaway aboard a cruise ship. There are many different cruise ships and cruise lines to choose from. Cruise ships are often viewed as large, oversized vessels. However, the size of the cruise ship you are interested in vacationing on is also likely to determine the level of intimacy on board. A smaller cruise line may be your best bet if it is intimacy that you want. More passengers often make it difficult to have on board private moments, and larger cruise ships have more passengers. A number of romantic cruise lines target their smaller cruise ships to couples looking to vacation alone. In addition to the size of the ship, the style and decor of the ship may determine whether or not you can experience romance on board. As previously mentioned, there are a number of cruise lines that target couples looking to vacation alone. Part of that targeting may include creating a romantic environment. You may find romantic cabins, room service, and other similar services on romance-themed cruise ships. If it is an intimate, relaxing, and romantic cruise you are after, then you are encouraged to search for a cruise ship that has an age limit for passengers. These cruise ships often restrict children from coming aboard. After all, you may be unable to enjoy a romantic vacation if you are on a cruise ship that is overrun with kids. Many times, cruise ships with a passenger age limit target their voyages specifically to couples looking for romance. While it is possible to find a cruise ship with an age limit for their passengers, you may find it a bit difficult. If you are unable to find one, inquire as to where couples with children will be placed on the ship. A number of popular cruise ships work to keep families and individual couples separated. If this policy is in place, a cruise line is likely to state the policy on their website. The same information can be obtained by directly contacting a cruise ship representative. Vacationing aboard a cruise ship is a great way for you and your partner to spend quality time together. The intimacy of the ship is just as important as on the ship when selecting a vacation on a cruise ship. Almost all extended cruise ships dock in a port, and these ports are often located in another country, but not always. You will want to consider a cruise line that offers stops in exotic and romantic ports to make the most out of your vacation destination. These ports may include, but are not limited to, the Hawaii, Mexico, the Bahamas, or other parts of the Caribbean. Hawaii, Mexico, the Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean all have a number of cruise ship ports. Additional ports can be found in the untied states and overseas. What many passengers enjoy most about these particular ports is their climate. Because the climate and the overall weather could have an impact on the romance aboard your ship, since tropical weather tends to add to the romance in the air. In addition to traditional cruise ships, it is possible for you to take a local cruise. If you are looking for a romantic getaway on a cruise ship, but you fear the cost of an expensive ocean cruise, you should look into local cruises offered near your home. These cruises often involve dinner, dancing, and sometimes an overnight stay. They most often occur on much small cruise ships on a large river or a lake. Now that you know what to look for when booking reservations for a romantic getaway aboard a cruise ship, you can start making preparations. With only a small amount of time and research, you could be sailing the seas in luxury with the one that you love. When looking at vacationing aboard a cruise liner, there are many people who are unconscious of what to expect. Individuals that have never had in a cruise liner before are inclined to be a little bit confused when it concerns cruise ship destinations and ports of calls. If you are interested in using some kind of cruise, it is advised that you familiarize yourself with cruise liner destinations and ports of calls. A port of call is a term that is used by many cruise companies. It is used to describe stops that a cruise ship will make along the way. If you are curious about booking a vacation aboard a ship that makes multiple port stops, you will want to interpret the ports available. Vacationing on a cruise liner is enough to produce any vacation perfect, but selecting the correct ports of calls will create a vacation even more enjoyable. When examining the cruise ships offered by multiple cruise lines, you ought to automatically be provided with cruise ship stops. This information may state where and when cruise will stop. Information may be available as to the amount of time the cruise ship plans on staying at a certain port. If the stop is long enough, it is in a position to view local attractions. All around the globe, there are many ports that cruise liners regularly stop at. Nearly all the hottest ports are found in the Caribbean. If you are looking for a tropical cruise, you may like to think about the climate of each port before making your reservation. Popular ports incorporate, but aren't limited to, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and St. Thomas. Caribbean cruises are often viewed as the most popular types of cruises, but they are not the single ones that are available. Vacation cruises are popular all across the globe, including in Europe, Canada, and the northern U.S. The ports of call on these cruises may never be an option tropical, but they still offer many fun and exciting attractions for cruise liner travelers. In addition ports of call, you will also see information on a cruise ship's final destination. When selecting a cruise ship, the final destination is extremely important. This is because most, but not every cruise ships return to their originally place of departure. For prevent unnecessary travel, it is advised that you look for a cruise liner that returns to its original port of departure. As aforementioned, cruises ship vacations are popular all across the globe. When selecting a cruise liner to vacation on, you are encouraged to hold this in mind. In addition, the ports of call and onboard activities, you ought to interpret selecting a cruise liner dependent on its location of departure. If you are interested in vacationing on a cruise, but while on a budget, you may like to select a port of departure that is located approximately home. Printing so could prevent unnecessary travel expenses. Cruise ships depart from ports all across the globe. Popular departure locations in the untied states comprise, but aren't limited to, Texas, New Jersey, Louisiana, Hawaii, and Florida. Overseas cruise liners often depart from England, Italy, Germany, Spain, Norway, and Portugal. Additional departure ports may be around, nonetheless, it will all hinge on the cruise ship in question. With all of the available cruise liner destinations and ports of call, selecting a cruise liner to vacation on may seem overwhelming. Despite this overwhelming feeling, you are still encouraged to research all of your available options. Taking the occasion to research popular cruise ship destinations and ports of call is the most appropriate way to make the most from your cruise ship voyage. Ever wanted to take a cruise? If so, you are not alone. Each year more and more people are vacationing aboard cruise ships and the choice of ships and destinations grow and grow. If you have never been on a cruise ship before, you may be wondering what amenities can be found on board many of today's cruise liners. Most cruise ships have common amenities such as eating facilities and bars, and also daycare centers and activities geared towards children of all ages. When first evaluating your choice of ship, it is important to decide whether you prefer a smaller, more intimate type of cruise or whether you would prefer a larger ship with more amenities. It is important also to consider the comfort level you require. Small does not always mean luxurious, as many of the large ships nowadays are very luxurious. However, the number of passengers could be a concern for you. Large cruise ships often offer more of a choice of amenities, especially in the case of onboard dining facilities such as dining halls, restaurants, and cafeterias. Many of these dining facilities are classed as upmarket restaurants with specific dress codes. This is because elegant dining among cruisers is as popular today as it was in days gone by. To make sure that you are able to enjoy a superb meal, you are encouraged to make a reservation as soon as you board the ship. In addition to a sit-down restaurant, there are usually a number of small eateries located on board. Bars, ballrooms, and discos are also found on most cruise ships. The range of entertainment depends on the size of the cruise ship and often include Broadway-style productions and comedy, with dancing, music, and cabaret all in separate bars. Larger ships can have a TV studio and even a conference center. For the bars and discos, it is important to check if any age restrictions are in place. If there are younger members of the family who cannot use the bars, then it is advisable to check that they can complete other activities while you enjoy the nightlife at sea. In addition to the above-mentioned bars and entertainment venues, many cruise ships have casinos. Most cruise lines adopt the same age limits as with land-based casinos. Some of the gaming halls and casinos are open 24 hours a day. Some of the popular gambling activities include slot machines, blackjack, poker, bingo, and much more. Because gambling is popular on cruise ships, if you want to cruise just to gamble, it is advisable to check what facilities are on each ship. Check the cruise liners' websites for more information. Childcare is often available for young children. Many parents have concerns about leaving their children with the daycare staff. It is important to know that cruise ship employees are often highly educated, properly trained, and are closely monitored. One way to allay your fears is to quickly familiarize yourself with the staff that will be looking after your child. What do you do if you have older children who are too old for daycare? Well, there are swimming pools, movie theaters, gyms, libraries, video arcades, and even ice rinks on some of the larger ships. However, one thing to check is whether the cruise ship has an adult supervision policy. This prevents children under a certain age from roaming freely around the ship. As each cruise ship could have a different adult supervision policy, you would be advised to check out these policies before you purchase your ticket. Also ask whether teenagers may be able to visit these facilities without adult supervision. For those people who do not want to give up their daily exercise routine when they are on their cruise, many cruise ships now have fitness centers and gyms which would rival those found in many large towns and cities. The larger ships have sporting activities which include tennis, basketball, jogging tracks, volleyball, and some even have 9-hole golf courses. Many ships also have spas, steam rooms and saunas, massage, health treatments and beauty salons. For those who want to stay in contact with the outside world, cruise ships often have internet cafes. So how do you check if a particular ship has the amenities you require or not? First, you can check comparison websites. Just do a Google search for cruise ships and you will see several websites listed for you to check out. We found Cruise Ship Finder very helpful. Next, visit the cruise ship's website. You can often check the individual ships' listings to see what they offer. Also make use of the toll-free numbers they often supply to get answers to specific questions. Some cruise lines to check are Carnival Cruise Lines, Paradise Cruises, Royal Caribbean, Saga and Celebrity Cruises. This is just a small selection. There are many others as well. Cruising is as old as late 1900s, although initially they were all the merchant ships. Vacationing in the middle of the sea surrounded by all the water and with not a worry in the world is definitely a dream come true for many. Nowadays, an enjoyable cruise vacation would make quite an impression on one's mind and make them return time and again for the experience. Unlike small boats and houseboats, cruises offer luxury to the galore and all the travelers would have a feeling of living in a star hotel rather than a ship. All the amenities offered in cruises are equivalent to the kind of hospitality offered in grand hotels or resorts of the highest cadre and make the travelers feel at the top of the world for the duration of the vacation. Cruise ships are huge and have a large crew to cater to every individual traveler's needs. Hospitality rates high in cruises. Cruise ship travel agencies offer vacation packages that might be high but at the same time offer a luxurious once-in-a-lifetime experience. Most of the cruise liners are offering discounted prices due to the heavy competition in the market for cruise vacations during both peak and off-peak seasons. Also, a few other benefits and perks are being thrown in as a bonus by the travel agencies dealing with such cruises. Many consider vacationing in the high seas to be the most romantic kind of vacationing, and the cruise liners are striving to prove them true with the elegant and romantic settings in the cruises. Cruise ships offer excellent packages wherein the traveler gets to see not just one but many places on the course of travel. Of course, it all depends on the package and cruise liner chosen by the tourists. Travelers get to visit the places during the day and have an excellent time on the ship during the nights. Most of the cruise liners are equipped with swimming pools, dance and music in the stateroom, casinos, even special parties and entertainment shows at night on board. Tourists not interested in visiting one or few of the places in the itinerary can instead laze around on the deck when the ship is docked and enjoy a pleasant day of sunning. Cruise ships assign a guide to all those interested in visiting the stops that the ship docks in. The guide would be well versed in the local sightseeing areas of interest and would be able to guide the tourists with zeal to ensure that they are satisfied with the visit to that particular place. A number of cruise ships are in the market presently to offer the best deals to tourists. Proper planning can allow for the best vacation ever, as the tourists would feel that the vacation is indeed the money's worth. Visiting new sites and new lands by sea is a unique experience, and it is further enhanced by all the elegance, sophistication and yet homely ambience in a cruise liner. Now that you have decided to take a cruise, the next step is deciding on one of the many different types of cruise ships. I know what you're thinking, types of ships, huh? That's right, there are different types. Just like there are different itineraries, the ships vary as well. Mega ships. Do you want a mega ship where you get a great deal but are just another anonymous passenger to the crew? If you don't care and are just looking at having a good time, these ships boast of having multiple pools, climbing walls and all other sort of amenities including casinos and clubs. They boast of being floating cities. Rightfully so, considering that they can hold up to 6,000 passengers plus the crew. There is always a lot of activity going on somewhere on this type ship. The caveat to this type of cruise is that you're just part of the crowd. The rooms are usually very small. Average size is less than 200 square feet. You are competing with the other, what seems like a million or so, passengers for the amenities and for the onshore excursions. Then when you thought a majority of everything was free, you find out quickly that not the truth. There is a lot of nickel and dimming on these ships. Deluxe ships. The second type of cruise ship is the moderately priced deluxe cruise ships. They offer many of the same amenities as the mega ship, just on a smaller scale. These ships range in passenger count from 1,500 to 3,000. Due to their size, they tend to attract a different type of crowd. Ones looking for a little slower pace. Cabin size is not much different from the mega ships, just less of them. These ships are mainly the older ships in a cruise line's fleet, but are still very well appointed and in good working order. Like the mega ships though, again you are just one of the crowd. You may get some aspects of personal service but don't expect much. You must look at it from the standpoint that you're still competing with 1,500 to 3,000 people for the things you want to do. The amenities they offer are just as nice, and many of the cruise lines that utilize the mid-size boats offer more family-oriented vacation packages. Luxury ship. The third type of cruise ship is the luxury class. These ships are unique. They offer a more personalized vacation. They cater to a crowd that wants more from their cruise. A crowd that wants to be treated like a VIP, pampered every step of the way. These ships are a lot smaller, offer low passenger counts and low passenger to crew ratios, which makes for better service. They offer rooms that are larger, most with ocean view verandas. Their service is impeccable and their food is usually of much higher quality. One even offers a 24-hour concierge champagne and caviar service. Almost all of these ships are all-inclusive, some including the shore excursions. Shore excursions off these ships are unique as well. Zip line tours through the rainforests, dinner on the Namibian desert, excursions to penguin rookeries and many more. This type of cruise ship usually offers unusual itineraries. Places like the South Pacific, trips down the Nile, Bali, the Galapagos Islands, Baltic Sea trips, around the world trips, and just about any other place you can think of. The thing you must consider other than price when searching for your next cruise should be where do you want to go and how do you want to get there. Just remember, not all types of cruise ships are created equal. It used to be that older people would be most likely relaxing in nursing homes. Not so anymore. As medical science advances, life expectancy has greatly increased. As a result, more and more seniors are choosing to enjoy life to the fullest. And that includes taking vacations, traveling to exotic places and so on. One of the most popular ways to take vacations these days is cruising. And cruising is not just for young party lovers anymore. There are several exciting and fun activities available on board cruise ships for seniors, and not surprisingly, a large number of seniors are going on cruise vacations every year. If you are a senior and are looking for more excitement and fun, then going on a cruise vacation is something you may want to consider. There are several large cruise lines, with each operating several cruise ships that travel to many gorgeously beautiful places on the planet. And in case you decide to take a cruise vacation, you might get to travel to a range of places, from the regal splendor of Russia to the spectacularly beautiful Caribbean islands. Before choosing any particular cruise ship, you may want to take a close look at the services, activities and facilities available on board. And with an increasing number of senior citizens going on cruises around the world, many of the activities on board cruise ships are designed for seniors. For instance, fine dining, comparable to the best you can get on land, is one such. Elegantly designed restaurants on board cruise ships offer fine food that can delight almost any palate. While restaurants on board many cruise ships may have a dress code, you may not necessarily be required to be attired in a tuxedo or an elegant evening gown. However, being clad in a jeans and a t-shirt may not be allowed. At least, this may be so on the more traditional cruises. If you really enjoy fine dining, then you will have a wide variety of options to choose from. In case you enjoy dancing, then you can have plenty of it on a cruise ship. Most large cruise liners are equipped with at least one dance hall, with most having several dancing facilities. What's more, if there is a particular type of dance that you would like to learn, then you may even be able to learn that on a cruise ship. Or if you would like to just have some fun dancing, then you could spend whole nights dancing away with friends and family. On extended cruises, the crew may even designate a particular type of dancing for the night. Many people do seem to believe that themed dances are exciting. And if you enjoy pampering your body at the local spa, then you can do that even on a cruise ship. Almost every large cruise ship is equipped with at least one spa, and some of these are comparable to the best in any city. At one of these spas, you could pamper your body with a massage, a haircut and the like. In case you decide to book a cruise and enjoy visiting spas, then you might want to reserve a spa visit well ahead of time. While cruise ships offer a wide array of exciting activities, the destinations they visit are no less exciting. A cruise ship may stop at numerous ports on the way, and you may choose to visit these destinations and get to see these beautiful places and cultures firsthand. Before you book your cruise ticket, you may want to consult a travel agent that you are comfortable with and ask his or her help in selecting the right cruise vacation for you. This is because most cruise ships focus on people of certain age groups, and the activities on board are designed mostly for that age group. For instance, if you are on a cruise ship that focuses mainly on kids or teenagers, then you may feel a bit out of place. Or you could even visit several websites and forums where cruise ships are discussed. All you would have to do is read what people who have already been on a particular cruise ship have to say about their vacation experience. If you get a good feel of what it would be like to be on a particular cruise, then you may be able to make a better decision. When you think of cruise ships, you usually think of a huge ship that holds hundreds of passengers and a large crew to cater to their needs. It's true that most travel agencies push cruises on large, luxurious ships that travel to famous ports in places like Bermuda and the Bahamas. Hospitality and ambience rate high on these cruises and are a big selling point for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Oftentimes, cruise ship travelers are attracted to packages that head to popular destinations on their list of places to see. However, there are those who prefer 3-day or weekend getaways to unknown destinations on smaller ships. These trips are short and economical, making them ideal for those who wish to take a shorter cruise for an affordable price. These cruises provide all the basic amenities as that of a standard cruise, but the size of the ship, number of passengers and crew are much smaller. A small crew and fewer passengers tend to make a trip more relaxing and intimate. Small cruise ships usually sail along scenic coasts with a guide providing history and details about area. Some trips have packages with a day or two stopovers, allowing passengers to explore the land and enjoy the cruise at the same time. The small cruise ship usually runs on river waters rather than the sea. It cruises along the coast of popular towns and quiet villages that are off the beaten track but certainly worth seeing. Because these ships are smaller, it is easier to navigate through waters that would not support larger liners. They can be navigated through small inlets, ports and narrow channels and prove to be great stress relievers for high flyers and adventurers. Booking a trip on a small cruise ship can be challenging. Many people prefer them to larger ocean liners because of cost, value for the money and shorter trips. These vacations are in demand all year long, so do yourself a favor and book well in advance of your desired date of travel. Booking can be done through any travel agency or on the internet. Special discounts are often available depending on the time of year. Forbes Life Travel magazine recently designated the Seadream yacht as the best luxury-level small cabin ship cruise line of 2015. The year has hardly begun, and this little cruise company has already stolen the prize. Its smaller size is a comfort to many travelers, and the company doesn't sell you short on your experience. With upgrades and an exceptionally professional crew, she looks to take and keep the prize for years to come. We suppose that there were many contenders and that there are many other top-quality small cruise lines operating out there, but here are 5 good reasons why the Seadream yacht is one of the very best. 1. Seadream takes you places bigger cruise ships can't go. A sleek cabin ship cruise. For Seadream's Caribbean trips, you fly into the much-used airport on St. Thomas and take off from there. You visit popular spots like Anguilla and Virgin Gorda, but you also get a taste of some smaller ports that are only accessible to smaller vessels. This makes the experience more unique, and you will be surprised at how much those less traveled ports have to offer. You will anchor in quaint little coves that none of the larger cruise ships would be able to safely approach. You will visit small bays and tiny isles that few ever lay their eyes on. It almost has the feel of a private tour. No wonder Seadream's motto is, "It's not cruising, it's yachting." On the Seadream, you will dream good dreams at night and live them out the following day. 2. The onboard cuisine ranks as truly gourmet. Some cruise ships make you wait in long buffet lines only to watch as the shrimp supply, which wasn't that special to begin with, was finished off by the person just ahead of you in line. No need to fret, however, there are plenty more delectable dishes from which to choose. Truly, the Seadream yacht gives you a totally different experience. Each morning begins with the friendly wait staff bringing you your coffee and greeting you by name. You'll get to know them well during the trip, or not, if you prefer to keep to yourself. The menu is like that of a gourmet restaurant, and the presentation is done with flair. Lobster, steak, and a long list of delicacies is offered every day. One aspect of Seadream's eating experience is top-end, in another sense as well. Topside Restaurant, the actual name, is located on the ship's roof. From there, you can get a wonderful view of your surroundings, or even dine under the starlight sky. 3. The onboard bar is second to none. A full-service bar, including fine wines and cocktails, is part of the ship's infrastructure. The barroom is as exquisitely designed as it is well-stocked, and no one will be disappointed. The ship also has a number of other amenities, like a mini casino, health spa, library, etc. 4. Seadream staff literally waits on you hand and foot. With 95 crew members waiting on only 56 couples, a nearly a 1-on-1 ratio, you get a lot more attention from the staff than on most cruise ships. They are always ready to assist you. They even will take you on shore for sightseeing, dining, shopping, or other excursions. They also organize the traditional beach party on White Bay at Joost van Dyke. There you will be able to swim in the warm Caribbean waters, barbecue, feast, play water sports, kayak, and more. On the other hand, you just opt to relax in your hammock under a shady palm tree. 5. The Seadream is smaller and more intimate than most cruise ships. Most cruise ships are utterly packed with passengers, incredibly noisy, and far too public. With Seadream, everything is smaller scale, making it easier to learn the names of fellow passengers and actually make some friends. While the cruise ship cabins are not extremely large, they are cozy and quite adequate. You may not want to stay all day in these small rooms, but that gives all the more reason to get out and enjoy the ship and its surroundings. And that is, after all, why you came on this cruise to begin with. Darren James Leonard James Promotions.